All right, welcome everybody. We are here with another meeting with the two Pete's, Peter Grant and Peter Thomas. How you all doing?
Very
Doing
well.
good, man. We're doing good. A beautiful day here in Chicago in the financial district. We're always glad to see you guys, and thank you for having us back.
Yeah. Well, thank you for taking the time to kind of go over some of this hedging. It's new to a lot of scrap people, I think.
Yeah,
New to
I think it.
myself,
Yep.
but I am
I
beginning to
think
understand it.
Brett, that I think Nick, that what we're doing is we're kind of breaking into the area now, and a lot of guys are saying, you know what, this isn't just for the big guys. That my company has a lot of price risk, and as these prices are rallying, and we've been talking on your show really for the last year, picking pretty much lows and highs out of blind luck, of nothing else, and but we've been able to help a lot of guys mitigate exposure, and that's what we want to do here. We want to be able to say, hey, we want you to be here next year, and wherever the price goes, it isn't going to matter.
Well, I think today we'll just kind of do a quick run through on kind of setting up an account with you guys for to use your Tornado app.
Perfect.
Right.
And so, Tornado app is our hedging platform. It's a proprietary platform that my partner Tom Garland and I started many years ago, and it allows you to buy or sell your product at a given price, and it's just a fantastic thing. And we'll have another show on that so you guys can see it.
Yeah, we'll do a follow up. So today we'll just go over just a real quick overview of setting up an account and what you guys kind of require from a company.
Perfect.
Right?
Yeah, and it's actually quite easy. We do everything online now, so the big stack of documents is a thing of the past. So once you've expressed an interest in setting up a hedging account with us, we send you an invite by email to our application portal, and once you've logged into that portal, it sort of pulls you through the process. So it's quite simple. Doesn't take very long at all. The crux of the application is basic business information, something that you would have to fill out for a business loan or anything like that. And so what you're looking at on the screen is sort of the base of the application. So company name, the LEI number, which is a legal entity identifier number, and it essentially it's part of it basically is a way to identify individuals or corporations that they are allowed to engage in certain financial transactions. It's really easy to get. Frequently, it's same business day. We either use the GMEI utility or we use Bloomberg.
We send them a link for that, so they don't have to do anything, right?
You don't have to worry about that.
Okay.
So if your company doesn't have one, you guys can help them in the process of.
We can get you to the place you need to be, and again, that's it's really easy to get.
And it's a handy thing for your corporation to have, because if you go to a bank for any reason, you just give them your LEI, and boom, it paves the way.
Well, for myself, we would get our CFO involved on this process,
Of course.
Someone that has.
Frequently the CFO or the controller of the company has all the important information at his or her fingertips and can get through the application really quickly. So if you're fortunate to have somebody in that capacity for your firm, this can go really quickly.
But even if you don't have that, if you kind of wear all the hats, you can help walk people through the process.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I am here to hold everybody's hands, and I've done this enough times that I can answer all the questions that you might have, steer you in the right direction in terms of filling out the application and uploading the pertinent documentation that we need. So again, I assure you, it's a very painless process.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so again, company name, LEI number, ECP reason. That's something that a lot of people probably won't be familiar with. This is part of the Dodd-Frank regulations. ECP is eligible contract participant. And again, for the types of transactions that we deal in, you do need to be an ECP. And there are a couple of ways to qualify for ECP, and that's what goes into that box. And again, I can walk anybody through that
How long does it
process.
take to get that, go through that process, the ECP?
Oh, that's immediately. You sort of either qualify or you don't, but there are several different ways to qualify as an ECP. And most people in the precious metals industry qualify.
So the scrap
So it's
community would qualify for the ECP?
almost assuredly. And
Yeah.
again, I'll walk everybody through that process and ask the pertinent questions to get to the reasoning. But usually it is to mitigate risk, to hedge and mitigate risk is part of that equation.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, basically people are saying, because this is the government is asking a question, why are you on the exchange? Well, we're on the exchange because we have to use it to mitigate risk or to fix a price of product that we have on hand, such as platinum or palladium. We don't want to, we're exposed to market swings, and we're going to eliminate that in our business. And the government looks at that and goes, okay, we understand.
And so again, addresses and number of employees, your banking information, total estimated annual income, liquidity and net worth of the company, the risk capital that you're looking to put into the hedging process. All pretty basic, easy stuff. Intended purpose of transaction. Typically, it's going to be hedging.
Right.
And we ask some questions about your experience with regards to trading and investing, and that's sort of the main part of the application. So pretty quick and easy. We do require that certain documents be uploaded. So I'll just go through that list real quickly as well. So again, this is sort of the basis of that application that you're seeing here: company information, company contact information. It's X'd right now, but as you go through it and complete it, a green check shows up.
That's right.
Okay.
So again, it pulls you through the process.
Now they can also fill it out, Pete, and check off their X, and then come back to stuff that they might not have, or if they get busy.
Oh, yeah.
And
absolutely.
Okay.
It doesn't need to be done in one sitting by any
Gotcha.
stretch of the imagination.
Okay.
It'll show you what still remains to be input or uploaded.
Great.
And you can go back to it at any time. You get input from your CFO or your controller.
Exactly.
You fill in the pieces, and eventually, once everything is checked green, down at the bottom of the application, you submit the application. We also do electronic signature.
Yeah, that's
again,
much nicer.
Getting back to the documents that we need, a certificate of incorporation. So wherever you're domiciled, be it Idaho or Denver or Chicago or anywhere, that you can typically get that certificate of incorporation from the Secretary of State's office.
If you don't have it sitting in your office,
you may have a
anyway.
copy.
Yeah, a lot of people put them on the wall.
Right.
Yeah.
Same thing for the certificate of good standing. If you're up to date on all of your filings and everything with the Secretary of State's office, you'll be able to download that certificate of good standing from the Secretary of State's website, and then it comes in a PDF format, and you just upload it to that particular. So let's maybe just go in and so. Again, you just it's that simple. You just choose the file, upload it, and then you self-certify it also. So there will be a green button that says, "I certify that this is the actual document."
This is real.
So yeah, exactly. So we don't have to get certifications and so forth from third-party entities.
Yeah, things don't have to be notarized to put them in.
Notarized,
exactly. Right. Yeah.
So again, your company banking information, or let's go back down to documents. Certificate of register of office or proof of business address. So that can be an official document of your of your business address. But it can also be something as simple as the utility bill from your physical office or your facility, your
Okay.
yard, what have you. So if you have an electric bill for your yard, for example, that can serve as your proof of business address.
Okay.
And we've got all the tricks for that. For example, we just had an individual come in and he says, I don't pay the utility because it comes on my lease. And we said, okay, send us a copy of your lease that demonstrates that your landlord pays the electricity. He sent it in and it was accepted. So,
Yep.
Okay.
you know, we'll be able to help you with a few of the nuances here too.
Right. And list of directors and secretaries. So depending on the corporate structure, the directors, the secretary, and so forth, it can be just a list on your letterhead. It doesn't have to be anything terribly formal. A lot of times it's in the your formation documents, so that's acceptable as well. A share registry. So if you issued shares in your company, say you formed a subchapter S, for example, and you issued 100 shares, we need to see how those shares are distributed to determine who are the beneficial owners of the company. And again, that can be a very informal document as well. Frequently, again, it's in the formation documents, but it can also be listed on just on the company letterhead that, you know, Nick owns 50 shares and Brett owns 50 shares of the 100 total, and that's it. We get a lot of LLCs and single member LLCs that never formally issued shares. So frequently for the share registry, we'll just have a document that says Pete Thomas of Thomas Refinery, 100%, you know, shares.
Gotcha.
100%. So even though there were never any shares issued, yeah,
you got
so
it,
that it's a single person LLC. That's frequently how
I think that
we
could
do that.
I think that definitely could be the case in a lot of small scrap yards, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense, and they are certainly eligible to do this. You don't need to be a big player in the industry, and the benefits of what we do and the hedging translates to small businesses and large businesses alike.
Personally, it's more important to me for the smaller individual to be protected versus the bigger guys can take a hit on a swing. When we have $120 swing in palladium that day, I mean, a lot of guys really get hurt versus what's going on with a smaller guy. He just can't take the exposure and he can immediately hedge. I think it's just more important for them.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Yeah.
So share registry is pretty easy. Operating agreement, typically you'll have a formal operating agreement, particularly if there's multiple owners. That gets uploaded. Copy of your most recent balance sheet, and it doesn't have to be an audited balance sheet. So again, typically that's at most business operators' fingertips, or certainly at the fingertips of their CFO.
Yeah.
There's a spot for miscellaneous documents if we ask for anything else. And then finally, the identity and proof of address for the ownership, any beneficial owner of the company, or anybody that you're going to authorize to trade on your behalf. So there may be an operations manager, for example, that you want to have access to the account. And so we would just ask for, we would add the individuals there, and then they would upload a copy of their driver's license, for example, or any kind of official government issued identification, could be a passport. And then each would also have to have their own proof of individual residency. So again, typically a utility bill is the easiest one to get for that. So each individual, so for example, both you and Brett might upload your electric bill from your personal residence, and that's it. So
I like it.
pretty quick and
simple.
easy.
I like seems even simple enough to add someone, the purchasing or an operations that helps sell the material, add them.
Right.
I think that would be important for a lot of the scrap yards, because a lot of
I think that's well put. A lot of guys actually just take their phone, they're just an Apple phone, and as they're having product loaded on their truck, they're just hedging it. It just it's
I think that's
immediately
cool. I want to
mitigated.
run through that,
Yeah.
like with a screen share with a phone.
Okay.
On a different episode. I think that's kind of a cool thing.
I think that's very helpful, and it's real quick and clean too.
Important to know that it works on Android too. So Pete likes his Apple.
I do. You're right.
As do I.
Yeah.
But it works on other devices.
It works on
handheld devices.
Either one.
As well.
So that's
exactly.
And I think that's what we'll do on the later episodes. We'll set up I'll probably take a real situation that we did.
Yes.
We'll maybe use the real weights.
Yep.
And we could run the real weights. Hey, we bought this
good
on a Thursday of this day,
Yeah.
Let's pretend we bought it today, and we want to hedge it to stay safe.
Yep. I think it's smart. You get palladium above $2,000. You want to start looking at maybe hedging, and I think it's a great idea if we could demonstrate to your people how they could lay that risk off. And remember, you don't have to sell all of it. It's important. If you've got 150 ounces of palladium, and you're saying to yourself, well, we're at 2050. I'm into this at 2000. Maybe I want to lay this off, but I'm only going to do half. You just type in the amount. And you punch sell, and it's done.
And that's an important point that we've talked about in the past, but haven't mentioned specifically in this video.
Right.
Is that our platform allows you to hedge down to the ounce in gold, silver, platinum, and palladium, and down to the pound in copper.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So you're not confined to having to do 100 ounces of palladium every time you do a trade. You do what you have on hand, and that way you can mitigate risk all the way down to 10 ounces, 7 ounces, whatever you happen to have, and then you don't worry about it anymore. It's done.
Well, cool. I'm excited to run through those on, maybe next week we could run through a scenario. So
that sounds great. I'd love to do that.
All right. Well, thanks guys for taking the time.
Nick, thanks for having us. We appreciate it.
I'm excited to share this with our customer base, and hopefully we can shed some light on the hedging process for all the scrap guys out there.
Yep. Lift the veil.
If they have any questions, they can certainly feel free to reach out to us as well.
That's true. We should definitely have a link in case somebody gets confused or what we're seeing doesn't make sense.
You guys' contact info on our.
Oh, that'd be terrific. Thank you,
Perfect.
Nick. Yep.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Well,
thank you so much.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.